forgot I bring down the time to 3 seconds. Well, I know what you're saying. It's back. The thing. The reason why I brought it back was because, well, I need to start tracking my time. And I could have just used a stopwatch or timer or something like that, but nah. So yeah, we're bringing it back. What if Luffy had the Ice Road? What the heck? How did you get Ice Road? It said Ice Road, you dumb. Eh. Ice. Hey, I can see my video on YouTube. Part 1, Part 2. What if Luffy had a Logia? No, fan fiction. Fan fiction. Okay, Sub-Zero Straw Hat. This is not mine. This is Sub-Zero Straw Hats, and I think I'm on chapter 3. Yeah. Hee, how bad is Michael Jackson? Okay, soft bed with sunlight. Fuchsia Village. Okay. Let's hop right into sort of 2 years later, Fuchsia Village, Dawn Island, 2 years later. Oh my gosh. Fuchsia Village, Dawn Island, East Blue, 2 years later. What are you doing up there, Luffy? A red-haired man called out. He was wearing a straw hat with a red ribbon around it on his head. I'm tired of you guys never taking me seriously. On the top of a red dragon figurehead of a large pirate ship was a 9-year-old boy with black hair and looked mad about something, as his eyebrows were scrouched together in a mixture of anger and annoyance. I'll show you. I should be respected. Hey, Luffy's gonna do something funny. A fat pirate with a large piece of meat in his mouth, with a whatever, and wearing goggles on his head. Come on, get it over with, Luffy. The red-haired man called out again. Not taking Luffy seriously. This seemed to be all Luffy needed to do what he was about to do. Using his devil fruit abilities, Luffy made a dry ice brand that looked like a large dragon with its wings spread out as if it was flying. He opened his red vest, and with a deep breath, he smacked the brand onto his torso. The resulting hiss of steam and the painful scream from Luffy made the large crew move into action. You idiot! What were you thinking? The red-haired pirate shouted out, looking furious at the child's action. Short time skip. Party bar. Fuchsia Village, Dawn Island, East Blue. Luffy sat at the bar next to the red-haired man, his eyes screaming he was in pain, but his voice said other thing. That was like a mosquito bite. I didn't feel anything. The man next to him hit him on the head. Liar, don't do that again. He still looked whatever about what Luffy did. But Shanks, I'm not afraid of pain, so let me join you, the child pleaded with Shanks. No way. For one thing, you're too small and young. This made the child pout. Plus, you can't even swim, Anchor. Shanks ended up with a teasing tone with a mischievous grin on his face. Luffy frowned, but then got a mischievous grin on his face too. At least I don't have tomato hair, Luffy chuckled at himself, while Shanks looked shocked before he looked angry. Who has tomato hair, you brat? Shanks shouted at Luffy, getting everyone's attention. Luffy still had a mischievous expression on his face. You do. tomato hair. He had a teasing tone to it. He also had a victorious tone mixed within. As Luffy, wait, as soon as Luffy said that, all the what? As soon as Luffy said that, all Shank's crew stared at their captain for a second before they burst out laughing. You know, Captain, you do have tomato hair. Ha 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 ha. The crew's sharpshooter said through a fit of goggles. He had dirty blonde dreadlocks with blue bottom up shirt and a headband saying "Yasop" across it. Yesop, you asshole! Shank shouted as he was really annoyed at the teasing of his crew. A few minutes later, the crew calmed down, and Luffy asked again, "Shanks, can I join your crew?" Shanks spared Luffy a side glance before giving a small smirk. Fine. Luffy's eyes brightened in excitement. Maybe you can join if you can knock me down. If you can hit me over to the wall over there. Whoa. He pointed to the far wall to his left. I'll actually do you one better. At this, Luffy looked even more excited. I'll bring you with us to the Grand Line in New World for training. No questions asked. Deal. He held his hand out for Luffy to shake. Without hesitation, Luffy shook the offered hand with enthusiasm. Deal. By now, the entire bar had attention on the duo. Luffy and Shanks got off their stool, and the captain stood the opposite. What? With a lazy stance, said child held up first hits. I give a frick. Now Shanks had taken a lot of hits before they didn't hurt, but he was expecting those. But Luffy, a 9-year-old kid, had just used Boshugari, whatever the frick it's called, hockey. Years had hit him hard enough to make him hurt a few seconds give a frick. Meanwhile, Luffy looked proud at the hit he landed on Shanks, and victorious because he had won the bet. This meant he could travel with Shanks' crew for 10 years. How's that, Shanks? This means you gotta train me. Luffy held up his finger in a victory sign. Shanks was still trying to regain his breath after having the wind knocked out of him. After getting his breath back, he spoke up. You're right, Luffy, you won. I'm gonna train you for 10 years. In celebration, we need to have a party. This was answered by a chorus of cheers and agreement. But before anybody could celebrate, a woman came out the back of the bar. She had dark green hair and was wearing a simple dress and dark colored eyes with a bandana tied over her head. What's going on out here? There was a lot of banging, Makino. I won the bet. Makino, I won the bet. So Shanks is going to take me with him to train for 10 years, Luffy excitedly stated before anyone else could. Makino looked shocked for a second before a large smile beamed on her face. That's great. We should celebrate, the barmaid exclaimed happily. We were just planning that, Shanks said, with a smile on his face, though his stomach still stung slightly after him and Luffy sat down in the respectable stools and ordered some food and drink. What? That word should have been drinks. Everyone was having a good time celebrating. Then bam, the door was kicked open by a rugged-looking man who was wearing an overcoat over a whatever pair plants black. Whoa, you don't make any sense. The man had a arrogant smirk on his face and walked like he was the big dog in town. He walked up to the counter and slammed his hand down on it, startling Makino. Me and my men are thirsty. Give us 10. I'm just gonna switch your words. Give us 10 barrels of sake. We won't trash the place. And we won't trash the place. He spoke with an arrogant tone, expression, and air about him. So sorry, but I'm fresh out of sake, Makino nervously stammered. Then, what are these weakling pirates drinking? Water? He spat out the name like a curse, looking at Shanks and his crew with distaste. Look, looks like me and my crew drink all the sake. Sorry. Shanks spoke casually, holding up a bottle of alcohol. Here, you can have the last bottle. The medic glared down at Shanks as if his presence alone angered him. He then smashed the bottle with his fist, sending the glass and drink everywhere, soaking the ground in Shanks. One measly bottle won't satisfy my group's thirst. Now, look what you did, Shanks complained nonchalantly. You got the floor all wet. You got a rag, Makino? I'll clean it up for you. Makino was shocked out of her stupor and hurried to get a rag. This seemed to enrage the man more. He pulled out his saber and swiped at the food and drinks on the counter, sending the plate of food and I don't know what you're saying. Nobody cares if you have an $8 million berry. Bro, Shanks had, at this time, I'm just gonna bet that Shanks had about somewhere around 1 billion. I don't think he had 1 billion. I think he might have grew. Shan-san, are you okay? Makino asked worriedly after the bandits left. Kneeling down next to him, yeah, I'm fine. Resting his hand in the straw hat before shooting his head up and bursting out of laughter along with his crew. Luffy just sat there silently, mostly understanding why Shanks did not fight back. He wasn't stupid, as everyone calmed down, and everyone just started chatting. Luffy asked a question to his idol Shanks. When can we start training? Shanks looked thoughtful a second. Next day. Yeah, I just skipped an entire couple of sentences because I did not want to read that bullcrap. Luffy was sitting at the bar counter with a glass of ice water. And okay, this is what if Luffy had the ice fruit, and for some reason we're just focusing on we're focusing on Kid Luffy. I actually want to get to Luffy. So in chapter 4, this is where we actually get into Luffy. Fuchsia Village, East Blue, 10 years later. A 6-foot-tall, 19-year-old man was on the docks of Fuchsia Village, loading a barrel onto a small rowboat. The man had spiky raven black. Luffy was not 19, so yeah. Oh wait, he trained for Shanks for 2 years. Okay, spiky hair, raven black hair, slat, covered, worn, give a frick. You're leaving, Luffy? The man now specified as Luffy turned around to see the village mayor. Whoop slap. What? You could stay here and protect the village with your abilities, you know. I know, Mayor, but becoming the Pirate King is my dream, and to do that, I need to head out to sea. So I can't stay here. Luffy replied, holding back his straw hat in front of him. Luffy is so lucky. Like, you were in the middle of a whirlpool when you have a devil fruit, and and water never came inside that whirlpool and drowned you. So you've got to be pretty lucky, because in this game called Millennium 2, I'm stuck and I keep spawning in the middle of the ocean, and if you can help me with that, it would be very appreciated. Besides, I promised Shanks I'd do it. At this, he turned and looked at the mirror with I got a date in a couple of. But I'm just gonna keep reading for y'all. The old man just nodded with a frown. Fine. Just try not to foil the village's reputation too much. He spoke with a sour tone, though Luffy could not tell that was his way of saying, good luck, don't get killed. Thanks, Mayor, I'll be safe. Tell everyone I said bye. Luffy got into his small raft and pushed off, off the dock, out, rowing out further. Hearing some faint hollers, he looked up and saw the entire village waving their hands and shouting goodbye. He stood up and shouted back, so long, everybody. I'll be back when I become the Pirate King. While he was shouting this, he did his D grin. What? He did his D grin on his face. That sounds so wrong. He did his monkey grin on his face, because when Luffy smiles, he looks like a monkey. No offense. Or does he just look like a monkey? That's so mean. Okay, presents. Luffy slowly turned around and let his hat hang on his neck by a string. He looked up at the Sea King and smirked. I guess it's time to test what I learned. I guess it's time to test what I learned from training with a low whatever. Yeppo, Luffy launched into the sky, getting the sea monks their equal eye height, and planted his hand on his sword, handling Shabukai, whatever. Luffy shouted, swinging his katana. What? Come on! Why does he have to be a swordsman in this? Swinging his katana out and sending an ice blue air black at the sea, whatever. I really don't care. Just get to the darn what if, bro. Just get to the One Piece story. Edited the first and third chapters, so I'll be sure to check those out. Luffy laying back down, small boat. Kobe sat. Zoro, he asked quietly. Zoro, Kobe, little girl talking. There's no way. Zoro opened out. Kobe argued, but disproven. Bullcrap. Zoro opened mouth, tossed Luffy rice, and Zoro choked on a couple times, but swallowed every bit down until Zoro's Rika D. Luffy wench. Table. Putting his legs on the table. You know what? I'm gonna execute that Zoro tomorrow. Things have been getting too boring lately. He finished with a snarl. Okay. Dang, man! If I had just gone chapter by chapter, part 5 would have been long. How long? Oh, 19 minutes. Shoot. So Zoro's getting a double fruit. That seems very interesting. I'll decide that soon. Which fruit? I'll figure out that. As for Okoji, he's going to have a different double fruit, which will be revealed. Since we're giving Luffy the ice fruit, we should just give Okoji the Gomu Gomu no Mi fruit. It's only right. God dang, I'm thirsty. Luffy complained, with his hat shadowing his eyes and his hand on his sword. Zoro grunted from the other side of the boat. Yeah, Too bad they didn't give us any sake. By the way, can I see your sword? Luffy looked at him questioningly, but gave it to him anyway. Zoro grabbed the sword and pulled it from his sheath and looked impressed. But I think it's a high quality one. He might be as good as your white sword there. What? But I need I need to price it for me, Luffy said, seeing his reaction. Where did you find this? Zoro was swinging the sword around a bit. Luffy grinned and scratched his back and scratched the back of his head. Well, I got it from the Grand Line when I was sailing through there. Zoro snapped around to him. You went to the Grand Line? The green-haired swordsman asked. Baffled, Luffy nodded his head, saying yes. Why are you going again then? Wait, why are you going again then? Zoro sheathed Luffy's blade and handed it back to him. The first time I went was on a training trip, per se. This time I'm going with my own crew, becoming king of the pirates, Luffy said, placing his sword back at his hip. He then looked over the edge of the boat and saw 3 people floating in the water. Zoro noticed and looked as well. Castaway, Zoro's blunty, whatever, nodded and grinned. Okay, this is what Luffy's sword looks like. So, you see this sword? Like, it looks like that one. Or maybe I can pick a better one. Nope, I can't. Finesse. 3 people started and their arms frankly shouted, "Oh yeah, help us please, we're not stopping, so grab on," Luffy shouted, baffled. The 3 floaters then nearly missed their chance to grab the boat. It was so fast, but they got on the boat. All about soaking wet. Got a non-nenthalizo. They were panting hard in a few seconds. You know, this is the end of this what if, like,